Afternoon, my name's Tiz, and today we have a guest. We are Britain's hardest man that goes by Herdman B. Not only was he the hardest man in the UK, he was also the hardest man in prison whilst he stayed a consecutive sentence of 10 years, another 10 years. Not only was he the hardest man in the UK, he was also the hardest guy at the prison he was at. He had a hard upbringing, notorious for his headbutts and his sharp elbow. Let's introduce Herdman B. Afternoon, nice to meet you.
Afternoon.
Knuckles look a bit
Dusted.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you today?
I'm good.
Tell me a bit about yourself.
There's a lot to tell you.
You've got a long time. Enjoy yourself. Take your time.
If you had been through what I'd been through,
Alright.
you wouldn't be relaxed either. I'm a man. I'm a father. Soon to be a grandfather.
How old are you? You look pretty young to be a grandfather.
33. If you've been through what I've been through in life, you've lived the life of 10 grandfathers.
Sounds rough.
I'm a man who has wisdom in his elbows.
Okay, I see it going down like that, but yeah, okay. Before we get started, I want to know a bit about your childhood, your upbringing, where were you?
My childhood consisted of me jumping around from place to place. And that's why I am who I am today.
Where were you brought up though? Like what area of the UK were you
I was brought up in the heart of Clitheroe, one of the roughest estates in the UK.
Oh wow, Clitheroe. Interesting.
Yeah.
How was your childhood in school? How was your family?
School life, I was knocking everyone out left, right and centre.
Why?
I had this
Just
assert dominance.
oh, okay, fair enough.
I felt from school life I knew I was going to hit prison. I knew it. So I had to train myself from then to assert dominance. And I had this nickname in school. They called me the Headbutt King.
Why would they call you?
I just go around headbutting everyone. For fun.
Just for the sake of it, just.
Yeah. It's almost as if like in my head.
Is that why you wear a cup to cover the?
I've got too many bruises. I've got my forehead has the shape has changed. Let's say that.
Okay.
I even once headbutted the head teacher.
What warranted that?
Playtime in 1996 in Clitheroe
Did you see
Grammar.
33?
Yes.
And you were in primary school in 1996. Anyway, don't worry about it. Carry on. Sorry, I don't want to get
In the art of Clitheroe, most dangerous estate in the world, the head teacher doesn't allow me to ride on the horsey.
So you headbutted her?
Him.
Oh, okay.
Later turned to a her. So I had to revisit and headbutt him.
So double time.
In the art of Clitheroe,
Right.
the most roughest estate in the UK.
Moving on, you went to prison, I see.
Went in when I was 15 years old. I slashed a man with my elbows. I've had blades surgically put into them.
Oh, that's why you always pull up your.
You gotta stay ready when you're in Clitheroe.
Right.
You gotta stay ready.
Do you have any tattoos from prison or?
In places I can't show you.
Oh, thank God for that.
I walked into prison one day and I said to the guards, I'm home.
How did they feel about that?
The only thing they could say, welcome home, daddy.
Are you in a gang? Were you in a gang in prison or were you just
Lone. Let me tell you something. Everyone raves about being the lone wolf. It should be the lone tiger. I was the tiger That was my nickname in prison. They'd heard about my primary school days of headbutting people. And then they've heard about the reason why I went in, my razor sharp elbows. And I felt like I needed to assert dominance.
Sorry, I didn't ask you. Sorry to cut you off. I didn't ask you why you went to prison.
Razor sharp elbows. I'm walking down the street in the heart of Clitheroe, the most roughest estate in the world.
In the world?
There's a gang of pensioners, and I still remember it like it was yesterday. A gang of pensioners. These weren't just any pensioners. These were pensioners that ran the block back in the day.
Shit.
So naturally I'm walking down, minding my business, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm sure these guys know who Herdman B is. They must know about my headbutt and my elbows. They didn't care. The most traumatic experience of my life. I had to deal with them.
How many were there?
4.
Pensioners, 4 pensioners. You knocked out, you sliced.
I had to.
Because they didn't know who you were.
If you had been there,
You think that's warranted?
if you had been there in the heart of Clitheroe, the most dangerous estate in the world, and you had seen the state of these pensioners with their walking sticks, their canes, you know them diabetes needles, insulin shots, scary. I had to...
Did you go to an old people's home or something?
Nah. So in prison, naturally they wanted to know who I was.
Yeah, of course.
And I had to show them. By myself, no gang. But by the time I was done with prison, they made a gang about me. I refused to join because I'm not a gang member. I'm a lone tiger that was raised in the heart of Clitheroe, the most roughest estate in the world.
What made you? What do you do now? Like, how long were you in prison for?
I've dedicated my life now to helping the younger people to not make the mistakes I've made.
What do you talk to them about? Like, what do you say to them to better themselves?
I run a no headbutt club, teaching youngsters never to headbutt. I have a second institution that I run, working with teenagers never to surgically put blades into your elbows.
Can I see one?
No matter how much you want razor sharp elbows.
Do you mind if I see it?
Too much trauma.
Right, okay, sorry. Apologise.
Too much trauma.
So you spend all your time now reforming kids?
Reforming kids, don't make the mistakes I made.
Which I think is a good outlook on life.
Yeah, charge them $6.99 a lesson.
Oh, you charge for it, not just out of the interest of being better.
Yeah.
Have you left that lifestyle, or you just...
I fear sometimes, I have nightmares. I'm walking down the estate in the heart of Clitheroe, the most dangerous estate in the world, and I have these nightmares. I'm being rushed, and that reminds me never to go back to Clitheroe.
So where do you reside now?
Nelson.
That's
Beautiful place.
Not too far off.
The hills, the sunset. Beautiful place. It's
Do
like
you
a
have any
tropical...
friends in Nelson, or do you just...
I'm a lone tiger.
No, I understand that part, man. Just to socialise. Do you have friends and like...
We don't socialise.
Oh.
In a world where you come from, the hardest man in the UK, they've labelled me.
Who's labelled you?
They.
Who's they?
They.
Will I find you online?
No.
Is that how hard you are? Like, you just mess up the internet?
If I was to go onto the internet right now,
You put your headbutt the screen, wouldn't you?
you know the emojis,
Mm.
they'd make an emoji out of me. The headbutt emoji.
Why is there police officers in my house? Have you... You've run out of prison, haven't you?
Your mic.